All right, so today we're going to actually take a look at Sage Investment Group. These guys are our friends, Ross and Ryan. See what they're up to. We're going to take a look at a conversion that they are currently undergoing. Without further ado, let's check this thing out.
Investment Group. Today we are here in Charlotte, North Carolina, touring what is now going to be the Charlie Apartments. It was formerly the
Charlie
Speedway and
Apartments.
Roadway Inn.
Awesome.
We are midway through construction on our adaptive reuse project. Let's take a look. One of our standard units here. So this,
well done.
as like all of our properties, was a just normal hotel room. And what we've done here is we actually fully gutted this space in here. We've refitted it, added almost a full kitchen in here. All the necessities that you need. You got your sink, your dishwasher, storage, cooktop.
So this is very classic. This is very typical. You're going to see the backside of, now this is an Econo Lodge, right? Or Roadway Inn, rather. So you're going to see the backside of the, you're going to see the backside of the bathroom, which is what we call the wet wall. That's been opened, and their MEP Engineering had submitted design plans to outfit an additional aperture or an additional water fixture and additional electrical. And so now you have it all going down the same drain. So that's really nice. It's all going down that same drain because the backside of this wall is the bathroom, right? At least that's what I'm seeing right now. So super smart, very good use of the resources to leverage the wet wall. You got the microwave. This is a great studio apartment. Very clean. Flooring looks clean. Trim and molding look great. I love the backsplash. So far so good. Good job, guys.
Microwave, refrigerator, everything that you can need for cooking. Tons of space here to do bed, little seating area, TV, entertainment center. And then back here, full bathroom, tub with shower head, sink, and a really cool designated closet space in here. Really
Love
cool
the closet.
to
See, I think the way they're standing out is adding or either adding or leaving the closet there. One of the biggest complaints that we get in our conversions is there's not enough storage. So when they have an extra closet space, it almost feels more like a realistic studio apartment. They definitely do a good job making that feel authentically a studio. So great work.
Do with one of these units. All right, let's take a look at one of our ADA
Oh, the
units.
trim, the green
wider
trim.
bathroom back here, not finished yet. Again, these are under construction. We're sitting on top of a really cool space here. So what we're sitting on top of actually used to be a pool.
Yep,
you can see here from the numbers.
Cool. Oh, duh.
This actually used to be a smaller pool that was filled in prior to us acquiring the property. Get really creative about that, you know, adaptive reuse.
Smart.
Pool house right there. So what we're going to do is.
So I mean, if this property does have a separate pool or another pool, that would be good. But let's just assume that they got rid of the pool. It's a bold move, but that's a good move in my opinion. And I've been torn with partners in the past on this. I think it's better to not have a pool. I think you could put a pickleball court there instead. You could put seating, you could put turf, you could put a micro dog park. A pool is just a money pit. Let's be honest. Unless you're attracting Class A residents. If you're attracting Class A residents, then you got to go all out on your pool and your jacuzzi and sauna and whatever else you're going to add as far as amenitized Class A or amenities. So, anyways, I think this is a really good move.
Is recover the space, do patio seating, grills. There's going to be planters along the lines here, and then we're going to use that for storage, patio cushions and stuff, so they stay really nice. All right, another really cool thing that we did is Sage decided to pair with the Quarters of Opportunity team here in Charlotte, and we have been able to be paired with local artists who will be doing two murals on our properties. The first location is right here up front on these board and battens.
They're going to put murals
do these two sides of all these
blank
rectangles.
Spaces, and that's
the other side. All right, so now we're here. What's going to be kind of a seating and pool area. So looks beautiful right now. We've got this lovely muddy area, as you can tell. It's been raining here in Charlotte. Then we've got the pool, and we have giant wall behind the pool. That is where the next mural is going to go. So as I mentioned, we get two murals on this property. Super exciting. So that's where the second mural is going to go for all of our residents to be able to see and enjoy as they sit by the pool. It's going to get some love. And then here also, we're going to completely re-landscape, patio out the area. This whole area is going to look completely different.
That's so cool.
I'm here at what is going to be our clubhouse. As you can see, caution tape, we cannot enter. Very much under construction right now, but this is going to be a really cool space. So this is going to be a giant amenity space for our tenants, including in the leasing office.
Okay, so this is awesome. They're adding an amenity space and a leasing office, and this is something that's really missing in some conversions. I do see some conversions happen where they don't add that extra leasing office, or they don't add an extra recreational room, or an amenity space where you can have, um, a business center. You could have almost like a flexible recreation space where you can maybe host parties, put tables in, chairs. You can have a gathering there. You can have birthday parties. This is what these tenants will want, especially over time when they're looking for, a place that's comfortable. They can be there for a year or two, maybe longer. If it's just a motel that's been converted, there's no excess space to really enjoy yourself, relax. Maybe, there's no space where you can lounge or sit and meet with people. Maybe some of these individuals want to bring family or friends over. There's no room in their unit because they're only 300 square feet. Got to have an extra space somewhere. So, such a good move. And Sage knows exactly how to do this.
This formerly was a restaurant for the space. So this area back behind me was the seating area, and then there was the kitchen,
Cool.
and then there was some
so
amenity spaces here. Renovating this to be just like a game room, meeting, seating area for our tenants. And again,
so there's two sides to this. There could have been an opportunity here to get a new lease on a new restaurant. Maybe that's not the type of area. Maybe the economics don't make sense. Maybe the financials said, hey, it was going to be a lot more expensive to outfit, this space as a kind of a blank canvas, or build to suit for a leasee. Maybe it didn't make any sense. Who would be leasing a restaurant space in a newly converted, I would say B class, B minus apartment complex? It just, maybe this was a better alternative, and I think they chose well.
With the leasing office. So super excited to show you guys once this space is complete. So when we acquired the property, going into the former Speedway, and we knew that there was a lot of maintenance work and a lot of structural damage to the property. Here's an example of one of the things that we discovered. You can see all this rot to the metal, and as I'm touching, you can see it's just crumbling away in my hand. Right in the middle of it, quick to go to work here. We can see that this post and at this post as well, those are all going to be replaced.
Oh, cool.
With these right here. We've got this whole line of posts have been replaced.
Ross and Ryan
will be the stairwell, bring it back to that structural integrity. All right, I am here with Hunter McLeese. He is our head of acquisitions, and I wanted to ask him a little bit more about why we decided on this property. What attracted
just right over here, so as we're seeing money investment come out this way.
Top Golf is coming in. Hunter was saying that Top Golf's going to come in.
Guys on this one just because it had really
other economic drivers are going to be
making this building right here, and then obviously
making moves in closer proximity to this location.
How long did that negotiation go before
smart.
You and the former owner were able to get to an agreement?
Majority of all negotiations across all these properties are like a 2 to 3 year timeline.
2 to 3 years to negotiate a deal.
Price, but we have to buy right.
Let that sink in. And man, Ryan, Ross, and Sage team, just mad kudos to your patience and timing. These guys are great. If you don't follow them, give them a follow. If you're a hotel or motel conversion pro, or you're a hotel owner and you want to convert yours to an apartment complex, definitely reach out to them. These guys were in it to win it from day one. 2 to 3 years negotiating the deal. I mean, that's patience, and that's what it takes in this industry. You got to treat people very well. You got to take your time and be really patient, and don't compromise. If it's not a deal, don't try to make it a deal. Okay. There's ways to re-engineer deals. There's ways to re-engineer offers. You can get creative, seller financing. There's ways to do a lease with option to buy. There's really unique ways to do it. You got to be careful and not compromise. And that's why it probably took 2 to 3 years, because they weren't going to compromise on their values and their vision and their pillars. They don't compromise their values. And when you don't compromise your values, you can be as patient as you like, because you were never going to make a wrong decision.
Otherwise, the project's not going to work for our margins and our investors as well. It takes about 2 years to finally let them test the market, and then eventually come down to the price that we're willing to transact.
Look at that. They were
excellent. Thank you. All right, I'm here with Jay Michael from Property Management, Drucker and Falk, who will be our property management on site here at the Charlie.
Man,
so wanted to talk to you a little bit about, just before we've opened, what you're noticing so far, prospective tenants you've connected with. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, so I've actually had the opportunity to connect
How to
with
give me a pair.
Sugar Creek Business Association, which has been very exciting. So we're going to have some meetings here in the near future. They've been sending me a couple of future residents. I'm seeing a lot of flight attendants that are looking to with us, a lot of young students,
young professionals,
the area, a lot of people notice just down the street, and that's a very, vibrant area, and
nearby,
because they can get that same quality for just a better rate. Once you apply, you go through a
so at this property they're offering a better rate for a better quality product, which, man, you're gonna win. You're gonna give everybody a better deal with your final product, and it's a cleaner, more beautiful product, and you're offering more. How could you not win? I mean, you're gonna have a higher occupancy, and you're gonna have less turnover because you have such a great product. Good job.
Background, we verify that you do make 3 times that rental rate.
Typical background check, ensure that.
Awesome. The former Speedway and Roadway Inn had a combined 212 units. This hotel's had a list of issues, including structural, as you've seen, and deferred maintenance, along with just not fully being utilized to their fullest strength. So Sage was super excited to come in, really identify these as an adaptive reuse project. It's going to be, these will be converted almost unit to unit, so about 212 units to studio apartments. And we're super excited to continue to work with the city and with the community to not just evolve.
I didn't catch how many units this will be at the end. Will it be 212 studio units? That's typical. Usually you see conversion pros not sacrifice any rooms and just have 212 studio apartments. I don't advise that's the best, simply because your exit's going to be a little bit harder. Let's say you have 212, rooms in a motel, and you convert them into 212 studio apartments. Well, first of all, that's a lot of cash going into 212 kitchens, and your MEP engineering is going to be expensive because you have you're probably putting up. You're probably increasing your switch gear. You're probably increasing your amperage. You're overloading your power basis because you have 212 units that you have to power as full-on apartments. Bring them up to code electrically to sustain long-term stays. Even plumbing, that could get really pricey. You're looking at 28 to maybe even $38,000 a door. 28 is if you're like if you're good at what you do in a cheaper, lower labor cost market. They're probably hovering in the $35,000 to $45,000 range per unit. Maybe they're cheaper. I don't know. I got to talk to them. They're very good. They're very seasoned. I've actually seen their projects. They have one in Tucson called the Sahara. It's very, very well done. So that was done years ago. So they're seasoned.
All this space, but also look at additional properties in Charlotte. So hopefully more to come with that. But thank you so much for joining us today on our tour, and we're excited to show you more.
Gosh. Sage, great job. That is such a fun project. I love that they filled in a money pit. They filled in a liability. They filled in the pool, right? They kept it really simple on the inside of the units, right? They didn't add the L-shaped countertops, which I thought, you'd never have a conversion that looked good without L-shaped countertops. It just feels more like an apartment with L-shaped countertops. Something that we used to really believe in, but not anymore. They kept it simple. It was just your little galley kitchen. It was opening up the backside of the wet wall. It was that beautiful blue, shiny tile backsplash, and it was tasteful. It was thoughtful, and the colors looked great. They didn't look boring. They didn't use the gray tile. They had just a colored, like a brown, light beige wood floor. Love that they're adding murals. They're adding a little bit of the local vibe, a little local flavor to the space, so that it doesn't feel like an apartment complex, nor does it feel like a hotel. It feels like just kind of a boutique, kind of a hipster pad. It's kind of a silly phrase, but it feels more homey. It feels more natural. It feels more custom. And today you're going to see a lot more of that. Ross and Ryan from Sage are great examples of what to do during a conversion. They've been through the hard knocks. They've been through a well-established sundry of deals, and they're no longer guessing. You know, a lot of us conversion guys, we're pioneering the space. We're learning what works, what doesn't work. We're learning what buildings, what generation residents in should you stay away from? What properties should you attack? Should this Econo-Lodge be an apartment complex or stay, an economy class motel? We've navigated that. We've learned what works. We've learned what doesn't work. We don't know everything, but we're a whole lot better off today than we were when we started. If you're interested in learning more about how you can convert your motel or hotel, or a motel or hotel you're looking at purchasing, into an apartment complex or into an extended stay, maybe you don't want to go through all the zoning because you know it's going to be a headache, go to ultraextendedstay.com. And there you can book a time with me and we could chat one-on-one, totally free, no obligation, 30 minutes plus of just you and I chatting about your subject property. And hopefully I can bring value to you and you could see potential upside if you are going to convert. Or maybe it's better just to keep it a motel/hotel. Maybe you just need a new brand. Anyways, I'm Andrew LeBaron with Ultra Hotel Conversions and Ultra Extended Stay. Please reach out, ultraextendedstay.com, and I look forward to meeting with you.